guys, welcome to Beauty Bees and welcome to my Project Pan introduction for 2023. This will be my third full year doing this project. I'm super excited to get into it. This year I'm going to be following the way that Lainey over at Makeup with Lainey did her project last year. She came up with a prompt list. I will have her channel, of course, linked below, as well as her intro video for last year. I think she goes a little bit into her reasoning behind her prompt list. Last year, my project was mostly focused around really cycling through my eyeshadows. I had a pretty low usage goal of 10 uses set for each eyeshadow, and I found that relatively easy to hit. A lot of shadows only stayed in for 1 or 2 months. However, I didn't hit pan in I think anything all year. And this year I want to shift my focus a little bit to panning shadow. So I actually want to hit pan in this project. However, if a shadow has been in for 4 months and I feel like I've been using it and I'm just not getting anywhere, because that definitely happens for me, I will also allow myself to roll that out. So because I am planning to hit pan in these shades and really work on them probably for quite a while, I did a little bit of editing of Lainey's original list. I cut my list down quite a bit. I think there were slightly over 100 prompts in her original list. I removed prompts like the A to Z letters, as well as like shades you don't want to pan, because I only want to work on things that I want to work on in this project. And I ended up with a total of 54 prompts. I will have the prompts list that I have used pasted down in the description box. I'm going to work on 5 shadows at a time. We can adjust that up or down as we get a little bit further into the year, depending on how I'm feeling. So let's do this. It took me way too long to figure out how to get the random numbers within Excel, but I've done it now. Hopefully I will remember to not erase this from my sheet and I can just use this function forever. Okay, so the prompts that I pulled are 21, 30, 46, 47, and 50. And right now that means nothing to me, so let's get into the results. So number 21 is a food-themed reference. Nothing has come to mind right now. I will have to dig through my collection and figure out what all I have. Let's see. Number 30 is my most expensive shadow. Okay. Very interesting. 46, 47, and 50. 46, a shadow from my favorite palette. Okay, that'll be fun. 47 is the flip side of that, a shadow from my least favorite palette. And then 50 is a shadow I've never used before. Okay, I will go figure that out, and I will be back in just a sec with my picks. Alright, I've made my selections. I'm so excited for these. Let's start with a shadow that I have not used yet. This is from Natasha Denona. I got this as one of those like enter a code gift with purchase from Sephora, and it is this beautiful, beautiful champagne shade. This is the shade Flutter, and it's from the Retro Glam palette. And I have swatched this. I have not used it on my eyes though. Isn't that pretty? I think that'll be just the loveliest inner corner shade. I could see myself also putting a matte shade all over my lid, up into my crease and everything, and just layering this on top. I think that would be gorgeous. I think this will be a fun one to work on. No idea how long it'll take me to hit pan on this, because I've used my Natasha Denona Camel, which is like a similar size. I actually think I got it in the same way as a Sephora Point Perk or something. And I've used that like 52 times or something, and I don't have pan in that, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. And we're going to keep on the Natasha Denona train for my most expensive shadow. Now, I actually purchased this for like $12 off of BoxyCharm. However, I believe this is like almost a $50 palette, which is ridiculous. You shouldn't pay almost $50 for this. But it is really, really pretty. And I decided that I was going to pick a more neutral shade out of here. So I decided to go with this one, this sort of light camel-y color. I felt that this would be a pretty easy shade to use on an everyday basis, that this would be a good crease color for me. Yeah, pretty neutral, pretty easy. That really goes for this entire palette. By the way, this shade that I chose is called Harlow. So we're out of Natasha Denona. I don't have any more Natasha Denona to talk about, which is good because I think those shades are going to last forever, and I'm guessing that both of those are going to get rolled out after 4 months rather than rolled out with Pan. So next up we have a shade from my least favorite palette. Unfortunately, that is the ColourPop Cherry Crush. This is very cute packaging. I love the little stars and the cherries. The idea is there. In execution, this is a quad that was expanded to a 9-pan palette. Everything looks the same in this palette. It's like a college student who is supposed to be writing a 5-page essay and gets to page 3, realizes they have nothing more to say and is just adding fluff to fill up space. That's what ColourPop did here. And I really don't find most of this palette super everyday wearable. 88% of this palette is not something that I think I would be able to hit pan on. However, there is one shade that I find a lot more neutral and a lot more wearable than the rest of this palette, and it is Cherry Stem. And this looks quite neutral in comparison to the rest of the palette, but when you swatch it, it is not crazy neutral. It is very definitely a red, but I think it'll be interesting to work on. Now, I don't know that I've ever hit pan on one of these ColourPop shades before, so I'm interested to see just how deep the pans actually are. I mean, I have pulled the pans out of here before, but I don't really have a sense of how long it will take me to hit pan on these. But we're gonna find out, and yeah, I think that'll be a fun one to work on. For a food-themed name, I chose to work on a Luxie eyeshadow, and I chose Mint Chip, which is this really lovely, like, neutral mint green. Has quite a bit of silver in it. I just think this is so pretty. And it has some shift to it. It sort of flips a little bit pink in some lights. I think you can sort of see that at the edge. This is really neutral, really easy to wear. I actually have quite a dent in this already. Probably around this time last year, this was just like my go-to neutral eyeshadow, and I'm looking forward to having it be that again because this is gorgeous. And it's just one of those eyeshadows that if it's not in a project, I don't think to grab for it, but it's so pretty. I absolutely should be working on this all the time. And then finally, a shade from my favorite palette, and we again have a ColourPop 9-pan. This is the Star Wars The Mandalorian The Child palette, aka the Baby Yoda palette. It's so cute. Like, 15% of the reason that this is my favorite palette is just for the fact that it's Star Wars and Baby Yoda. Love that. But the other 85% of it is the eyeshadows. I mean, these are just lovely. And I'm realizing that 2 of the shades that I picked might be a little bit too similar to each other, but we'll get that figured out. So the one that I was thinking was Right Hand Mando. It is the center shade in this top row, and it is, I think, actually kind of similar to Mint Chip. Let's swatch it out, though, and see how close they really are. Okay, not too bad. So Right Hand Mando, while still a silvery green, in comparison is a lot more golden. Mint Chip is a lot more silver. I think I'll be fine working on both of these. And those are my selections. These are the 5 shades that I'm going to be trying to hit pan on over the next month at least. We'll see if there's a whole lot of movement in this project. I'm kind of guessing there won't be. It takes me forever to hit pan and things, but hopefully this will still be an interesting project to watch, even if the result is I used these shades several times and they don't look any different. We'll see. We'll try to find a way to keep this interesting. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, and also definitely check out some other people's Pan Those Eyeshadows project. There are a lot of creators who do this project every year, and I find it a very fun one to watch. I hope you do too. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you all again next time. Have a nice day, y'all.